Hey guys, Chris here, Parts Breakers Jeeps Unlimited. So yesterday I had an order come in from a gentleman who wanted a pre-dismantled YJ. He wanted us to break it down and get the tub and the front clip. So, and as you guys have seen, that's really what I've been working on a lot these last few weeks is tubs and frames. So he ended up wanting to go with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder frame and a YJ tub. You can kind of see over there if it focuses. So this is going to be an approval video. If you guys like what you see here and you want to go about doing that as well, I am getting a little more slim on my pickings here, so right now is the time to get a hold of me and let me know. I'm pretty sure I've looked at a couple of these tubs and the ones that we have here, and they're pretty good shape. So now it's time to get it while the getting's good. This is the one I just did the other day. It's a little dirty now because it's been sitting out waiting for transport. And then TJ's, YJ, another YJ, CJ. But without further ado, here we go into this frame. So this frame is on its bottom, so when it goes under the Jeep, it'll actually be flipped over like this. I just got done washing this guy in that tub, and I figured I would make both of them in the same video for this customer. So we'll start off with the important parts here on this frame. Let me pull that up there real quick. When we go about grading these frames and looking at them, we look at obviously condition, lower and upper control arm mounts, sway bar, our leaf springs where they connect, our frame perches, our shock towers, all of that stuff. Now on this frame, this is real quick down and dirty. This order actually came in yesterday afternoon, and I just got my guys right on it, and we ended up busting butt breaking down this tub and frame. So kudos to them. Something that, you know, usually takes several days, they were able to absolutely get after it and crush it within the span of, you know, the remainder of yesterday's business day and this morning. I even got in there and was able to help them along with that as well. So let's start off right here, up here at the front. Now these guys, obviously, I haven't pulled those yet. Now you'll see this a couple things between this frame with its leaf spring, not your knuckles, but your, oh gosh, I'm having a dead brain moment. Oh well. So those can come off prior to shipping. If you want them left on, that's totally fine. But you can see there's no scaling, no rusting, and as you've seen probably in our other videos, the big reason we hit this with a hot wash is to make sure there's no scaling under here, there's no rust, nothing like that. We get up real close and personal, clean the interior out, make sure everything looks straight, make sure it looks good. Factory welds are still intact, nothing's broken off, missing, anything like that. So you can see, we'll start on the bottom, I'll flip it over, but these are your tub perches here. Still all in great shape. No rusting. All of this stuff is all just surface, where the paint had peeled away and you got some surface oxidization there. That's not actually rust. This right here is actually a fuel filter skid plate. So this will come off prior to shipping. You can see this rear cross member is still in immaculate shape. And then same thing on the other side, and I'll flip it over for you here in a second so you can see. Then here, bear with me for a second. We'll throw you in my pocket. And if you guys ever see any of my videos, you're always like, well, how much do these guys weigh? How do I get it off a truck? As you can see right there, I was able to take this and flip it over one-handed. You know, 2 people can offload this right off a truck. They're not heavy, couple 100 pounds, that's it. So, but we'll take a look at the top of these. Same thing with our motor mounts over here as well. They're in great shape. Doesn't look like they were re-welded. Still looks factory welds. no rust, especially up here where you hook your grill. And then back here on your tub perches as well. And here's the top side of that cross member. So all your frame to tub mounts are all in good shape, no rust, they're not brittle. And I hit this guy for probably about 5-10 minutes with a pressure washer inside and out. So that's pretty much that on this frame. Now we'll go on over here to this tub. And you can kind of see I left it on some wheels. I was actually did that so the water could flow to the front to go out the drain hole. This just got washed literally 2 seconds before I got this. So what I'll do is I'll actually flip it over real quick, and then we'll go over the bottom side of it, and then I'll flip it back over and we'll go over the top side as well. Now, same thing with these tubs. They're not hard to move. They're only a couple 100 pounds as well. Now, if you can see the bottom of this thing, it looks every bit of what I hoped it was going to look like. Obviously, we're out here in Colorado. We're a rust-free state. We don't deal with rusty tubs. That's kind of what Jeremy, the owner, prides himself on, is rust-free parts. So, but for the customer, it's always like, well, how do you know? Well, there's a couple things we look for, especially when this is still mounted to the frame. You look for your torque pockets and see if they've been squished out, if they're, broken, anything like that, and you can see rust there. Don't ask me how I know. I learned that the hard way one time. But we'll kind of go over this real quick. First thing I want to point out before we get too far, now this bolt is in there. They accidentally snapped it while trying to get it off. That's not a big deal. I can remove that before shipment, or I can ship it that way to you. It's actually going to be pretty simple to pull out. I just, with the time constraint and everything else, between getting that guy ready and this guy ready, I just said, hey guys, leave it, and I'll video it, and we can move that before shipment. So that way you guys get an expedited process of seeing what this tub is. So you can see these fender wells here in beautiful shape. All straight, still on there, no separation like you might have seen on yours with rust or something like that. Same on this back portion here. Doesn't look rolled. And then of course, bear with me, some of this water leaked down there, but I promise I did just wash it. Same thing on this fender well. I mean, to me, and then we got our torque pockets. They're in great shape. And then of course you've seen that one, which won't be hard. This one down here, they all still got their good threading. They're not collapsed. They're every bit of a grade A torque pocket that you would want to see. Same thing with this whole tub. We took it apart, and I guess this is kind of the running theme as of lately. I've been like, man, that's a beautiful tub, because you see them sit over here, right? And you're like, oh, they're YJs. And then you actually get down to tearing them apart like we did that red one, and of course today this black one. And it's just crazy how beautiful these tubs are. So here's the front torque pockets. Same thing down here on the bottom. I'll show you these guys. And then I can also remove this exhaust heat shield if you want before transport. It's not a big deal. I usually don't incorporate them with the tubs, but if you want them, you need them or something, yours is all beat up or whatnot, this one's in a decent shape, I can leave that on there. I'll go ahead and put this guy down, and we'll go over the interior here. There comes out all that water. Okay, so we'll start here at the back. So like I did in the pre-dismantle video for you, you can see how this is straight. It's not rolled. Usually when there's, you know, someone's hauling heavy or they overload the back or something like that, you can kind of see like a wave pattern on it. Nothing here in this. Also, the top side of these fender wells are just as good as the bottom side. Real good on the back quarters. Real straight along the outside. I'll finish a walk around on the outside and then I'll go into the interior a little bit better. Straight on the cowl up there in between the firewall and where you mount your windshield. Firewall's also in great shape. All straight, no dings, nothing like that. Nothing to be concerned of, worried about. Good mount ups right there where the fenders go. Same on this side. This is every bit of a clean tub that I had suspected it was before I ended up pulling it. Of course, a little bit of mud because I rolled it over, but still straight on those rear fender wells. And then on the interior, you know, up here usually where we see a lot of damage, and not by a lot, I mean usually places where we see damage on these guys is right up here on our transmission tunnel. There's nothing like that I can see on the bottom side or the top side. We still have all our good little mounting points for our roll bars. And then we got our seat mounts, all of that. Our holes, this is just tape, but our holes for our drain plugs are still intact. Over on that side as well. And then up in here, seems to be no damage, no rust, anything like that up on that front firewall. It's all pretty straight up here. And then the only other thing I was going to address while this is here, these strikers, just in case, if you want them, you know, I can get you a price for those, but those don't go with the tubs. But that is this tub in its entirety. And of course, I'll have photos and listings for you as well. And then anyone else that's interested in, you know, revitalizing their YJ or TJ or CJ, whatever have you, let me know and I can go through the same process. You can pick up the phone, give me a call, 303-666-9020, and you can go over options of tubs, years, models that you want. And then we can always get you set up with something as well. You can also find a lot of our inventory on Parts Breakers, jeepsunlimited.com. The only thing that isn't on there is pretty much our pre-dismantles. We haven't gone around to breaking those down like these guys have been and putting them on there. But thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a good day.